Inching our way closer to another winter weather season.
Yes, we are, and now is the time to prepare, but it does help to have a little idea of what we can expect.
Storm Team 10 meteorologist Lindsey Monroe shares her thoughts on this upcoming winter.
Another winter season is upon us, and after the past couple of years, a common theme on all of our minds is, will we get a break from the harsh winter weather this year? Short answer is yes, I believe we will. But let's take a step back before we move forward. Last year, we had the earliest measurable snowfall in 15 years. That's when we picked up 1.5 inches on November 16th. We had a pretty mild December and January after that before winter returned in February. We ended up with a total of 24.4 inches of snow, just a tad above the average of 22.6. So how does this compare to the past 35 years? The past 3 years have received above average snowfall following a mild winter of 2011 and 12, only picking up 9.8 inches. Looking back, there is quite a variety of snowfall totals ranging from 7.1 to 58.2 inches. With this, we notice cycles of harsh to milder winters, with one dominant feature impacting that, the El Nino Southern Oscillation, or ENSO. So far this year, we've seen very warm waters in the equatorial Pacific, and that has a very strong influence on our weather patterns here in the U.S. With the strong El Nino in place, the Midwest resides in between the polar jet to the north and the tropical or the Pacific jet to the south. We're looking at those storm tracks mainly north and south of the Wabash Valley, and that's going to allow for drier than normal conditions to set up across the Midwest. Milder air across the northern U.S. because the polar vortex, it's going to be trapped north of that polar jet. Areas south are subject to wetter and cooler conditions because that tropical jet stays further to the south. Even though there has been quite a bit of variability in the El Nino years in the past, more times than not, the pattern will keep seasonal snowfall around normal or fall just below. We pinpoint the two strongest El Nino events for the winters of 82-83 and 97-98. Here we find two of the lowest snowfall totals on record, plus no below 0-degree days recorded for both seasons. The first measurable snowfall is inconsistent, though. It was very late in 82-83 on January 12th and in early November 15th back in 97-98. Our average first snowfall comes somewhere in between, around December 8th. In addition to El Nino, there are other factors that influence our weather season. This year, there are two big differences from the strong El Nino of 97-98. First, we pinpoint off the coast, the West Coast, where temperatures were much cooler back in 97-98 as compared to what they are this year. Secondly, we look off the northeast coast of the U.S. and the northern Atlantic, where again, the waters are much warmer now than where they were 18 years ago. How these three areas work together will decide how our winter weather patterns will play out. But there are some outcomes that look much more likely given our El Nino setup. Snowfall looks to stay below the average of 22.6 inches this year, somewhere in between 10 and 15 inches for the whole season, with most of that coming in February. Our first measurable snow more than likely will hold off until after Christmas, coming in December 27th. I wouldn't bet on a very snowy holiday season this year. Temperatures will be above average with no days falling below zero. With that being said, it is still possible for blasts of cold air with single-digit temperatures and a few winter storms that will bring a few inches. I wouldn't rule out a few ice storms either, especially in late January with slightly warmer temperatures in place. Stay safe and prepare now for another Midwestern winter. With photojournalist Gary Bryan, Lindsey Monroe, Storm Team 10.
Now don't forget, Storm Team 10's Kevin Orpert's winter weather forecast will be coming up tomorrow night.